Hello folks, I'm Anticio Duke and I'd like to thank you for stopping by. We've all heard the phrase 15 minutes of fame, right? If I told you with 18 minutes you'll be able to find your focus, master distraction, and get the right things done, would you believe me? We'll see. Stay tuned for more. Again, thank you and welcome. So this week we're talking about 18 minutes. And actually that comes from a book written by Peter Bregman called 18 Minutes. And it's a book written about finding your focus, mastering distraction, and getting the right things done. It's actually a book written in first person sort of insights and narratives. And it dispels a lot of different concepts that I think are valuable and we'll touch base on today. Now, I've broken the entire book down in 3 different sections, 3 different concepts. 1, we'll talk about pausing and what that looks like. So I'll explain that. 2, we'll talk about purpose, sort of what you're working towards. And 3, we'll talk about presence. And that actually will define the entire title of the book. So let's get to it. So the first concept we talk about is called pausing. Now, Peter talks about when people make mistakes or they're embarrassed by something. Let's say you placed an investment in an area where you thought was going to yield more revenue and it didn't yield what you thought it would. So instead of arguing your point and trying to defend that, he talks about taking that pause sort of concept in 2 ways. You'll be able to reset yourself. So if you do 2 things. 1, slow down. A lot of times when we're wrong, we know we're wrong, we still defend our point. If you just slow down, listen more, argue your point less, you'll be able to dispel certain things and you'll bring that momentum of debate down. So that's 1 way. Number 2, start over. Start from scratch, clean slate. So once you know that you're in that point of embarrassment or trying to slow down, just look at it from this perspective. Giving the details of what you know now and the information provided now, would you do 3 things? 1, would you continue? Ask yourself, be honest. 1. 2, would you invest more resources, more time, more energy, more efforts towards whatever that is? And then lastly, are you willing, could you afford to move on from it? So being able to do that, slow down, start over, will allow you to pause in that moment. And excuse the noise in the background, I got cars running around me. In that moment, if you're able to slow down and start over, just like I did in that moment, you'll be able to pause in the moment and reset yourself and look at things from a better, more clear perspective. So that's concept 1. It's called pausing, being able to pause in the moment of something. Concept number 2, I'm going to talk about purpose. And purpose from 2 different perspectives, right? A grand perspective and a granular perspective. And that is what you're actually working towards. So Peter talks clearly about looking at 3 different sections in that. So 1, from a grand perspective, what is this year about for you? And that could be anything. You can look at it from a perspective of 12 months, right? Are you working towards leveraging your strengths, embracing your weakness, pursuing your passion, asserting your differences? So look at it from a grand perspective of what does the next 12 months look like for you? What are you working towards? That's 1. Next, look at it as far as day to day. So what is this day about? And that could be about anything. Priorities, so sort of what you need to get done and what can wait. The clarity of tasks, sort of what you should be doing versus what you shouldn't be doing. any tools to assist you in that, whether it's a different calendar, an app, a timer, something like that. So looking at it from a day perspective. So grand, now we start to get granular, and then we look at what is this moment about. That's more of the moment to moment things that make up the day that make up the year, right? So what is this moment about? Ask yourself, like, momentarily, in the moment, are you providing yourself positive self-talk? Are you getting out of your own way? Are you processing your interactions with people? So it could be a coworker, it could be a friend, it could be a relative. Processing, hey, I just spoke to them, they gave me some news that's unsettling. Sort of, how are you processing your interactions with people and others? So think grand, think granular, but it's all about what are you working towards. That's concept number 2. The last concept, the third and final concept we'll talk about from this book, is actually related to the book. So I call it presence. And it's actually building an 18-minute plan within your day. It's based on 3 steps. 1, you take 5 minutes in the AM. Take 5 minutes, review your to-do list. Sort of itemize, review what you need to get done. Okay? Next, every minute, well, let's say for every hour, take a minute and you look at what you've done for that hour and see if it has been productive or in line with what you plan to do. If it is, great, keep moving, trucking along. If it isn't, refocus your energy to make sure that you sort of tie in your activities and your tasks to what you should be doing. Lastly, you want to revisit all those things. Take 5 minutes in the PM. Go through your list. Go through what you've done throughout the day. If they are aligned, perfect. You're on track. You're moving forward. You're moving towards things. If not, revisit it. See how you can change things in order to make it better and make it look more valuable and tie in to what you're working towards. So again, that's 18 minutes for those who work 8-hour days, right? 5 minutes in the AM, review your to-do list. Every hour, 8 hours, every minute, take a minute for every hour, if you're working 8 hours, and you review that to-do list, and you look to see if you're in line with that. If not, you revisit it, and you refocus it. And then lastly, you revisit it at the end of the day. 5 minutes. That's it. 18 minutes a day can help you and actually save you a lot of hours, unnecessary work, and help you find the focus you need to get things done. That's all I have. Like I said, it's a lot of different concepts here and there, but it's very practical. And those of you out there listening, I don't know if you do. I do these book reviews for myself. I read a lot. But those of you who are taking in that information, you have 18 minutes that you can spare. Do this. Try it. Just try for a week. See how it actually impacts your life. It'll be a good test for you anyway. So that's all I have. If you like this video for any reason, again, like it, share it with someone who you think could actually use it in their lives, and subscribe, as always. Again, short book, well, medium-sized book. Actually, you can probably read it in two weeks. But the tips that I gave you today actually dispel the entire book. But if you want to read it for yourself, a lot of the stories actually will help you, and you'll get some experiences out of that. As I say always, to know more is to grow more, and to learn more is to earn more. So continue learning. That's all I have. Take care. Peace. Excuse me, you know what I'm saying, baby girl? Hey, look. Let me get 18 minutes of your time to help you find someone to focus on. You master the distractions of all those other dudes in your way, and you get the right things done to make this work. Yeah. I think it'll go over well.